is the understanding of exposure, and then there's also understanding of the hazard elements. Now, of the two, by far the more complicated is the understanding of hazards. These are complicated processes. Understanding how water flows or an earthquake behaves is a lot of understanding of scientific things involved there. There's also spatial issues to understand, and also temporal. So the two, hazards are complicated, but we really ought to be able to understand, particularly with properties, where buildings are located and what they're made of. So just to move into how we deal with exposure. So, as I mentioned, there's currently a lot of information in modern society, but surprisingly, across the globe, we still lack the ability to locate things, particularly with properties which are effectively static. Several issues that we see as a broker, we deal with incomplete addresses. Often there are data errors, erroneous addresses. In many territories across the globe, there are complicated ownership and royalty issues with data and the data that we use to locate things. And also, a lot of the addressing systems are derived from postal systems. And these were designed to help people deliver mail. They didn't capture other interesting information about buildings, such as height or what they're made of. And so we've gone a long way with what we've used so far, but there's still quite a way to go. I just want to take an example of a typical problem that we have. So in this case, I'm going to look back towards the Japan tsunami. So what you're seeing is a map of the municipalities in Japan. And quite often we still collect and receive data at prefecture level. As you can see, these are quite big areas. And when we looked at the tsunami, which largely impacted the Sendai Bay area, what we were trying to say was we've got information that tells us about the sums insured at the centroids of these very large areas. But what we want to do is understand the impact along a very thin 10-kilometer area along the coastline. And so because we didn't have high-resolution exposure information, we had to work to make a lot of